This program is conducted by the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society and more specifically by the Seminar Membership and Public Relations Committee. With this, I would like to invite the Vice President of the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, C.A. Zubin Bilamoria, to deliver his welcome address.
A very good evening to one and all, to the distinguished speakers, Ms. Juhaina, Mr. Yousuf, C.A. Duseja, and C.A. Abhishek Vaishya. Our chairman of the seminar committee of the BCAS, C.A. Chirag Doshi, and the conveners and coordinators, C.A. Vivek Shah and C.A. Preeti Cherian. See, this is a very interesting and an important program and a different type of a program which the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society has organized. See, the intent behind this webinar is to basically enable the members to capitalize on the business opportunities which are likely to arise in Oman, consequent to a comprehensive economic partnership agreement which is in the process of negotiation. So that will provide a lot of opportunities and it will immensely benefit the businesses in both these countries. Because as all of you would be knowing, Oman is a key strategic partner and an important trading partner of India. It is, I think, one of the second or the third largest amongst the Gulf Cooperation Council countries. And the total trade is around 13 to 14 billion US dollars. So I'm sure this seminar will provide immense benefits. The speakers are from different backgrounds. There are officials from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. There is a thought leader and an ex-central banker of Oman, and people from the employment side and from the industry side who practicing CAs. So the diverse background of our speakers will give them a lot of deep insights into today's webinar, whether it is their role in advising businesses or on legal and tax structuring. So this will help to enhance the understanding amongst the Indian businesses and professionals. Just a very brief background about the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society. It is India's largest voluntary body, autonomous body of chartered accountants, and it is only 6 days younger to the main Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. We were formed on 6 July 1949, so we are now 76 to 77 years old. Our main forte is the technical programs of various types which we conduct, whether it is the residential refresher courses, lecture meetings, webinars like this program, workshops on various topics ranging from tax, indirect and direct and international, accounting, auditing and assurance, corporate and finance laws. And plus, we also have an HR committee and we also have a seminar committee which also organizes various interesting programs, even on non-technical matters. Another forte of ours is the publications, various types of publications which we come across. The main flagship publication being the Journal of the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, which we popularly refer to as the BCAJ. This is a journal not only referred extensively by our members, but also by a lot of other industry experts, regulators, government officials, and so on. And it is a sought after journal in publication for a period of almost now 60 years. We also enter into collaborations with various like-minded organizations and also undertake think tank and research initiatives and issue a lot of thought papers. And also advocacy and representations are made on a regular basis on various contemporary topics of interest. The membership is, of course, open only to the chartered accountants registered with the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And so for those of you who are members of the ICAI and who are not members, we are ready to welcome you with open arms. I'm sure you are missing out something in your professional journey, and I'm sure you will make up for the lost time. So with that, my best wishes for this webinar, which I'm sure would be very useful to all the participants, and we hope to have more such webinars and strategic cooperation in the future going forward. So my best wishes for this program, and may God bless you all. Thank you very much. Over to the organizers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. I would now like to invite our committee chairman, C.H. Chirag Doshi, to address the gathering. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivek. I welcome Ms. Juhaina. I welcome Mr. Yousuf, Mr. Jai, and CA Abhishek Vaishya to this memorable event of Bombay Chartered Accountants Society, where we're planning to go global and trying to look for various opportunities, investment opportunities in Oman, which would also drive the opportunities for chartered accountants in Oman, and how these things can evolve. Because as we all know that today, this region of Sultanate of Oman has opened up doors for various talents, and especially including chartered accountants. Over various past decades, I have seen Oman is trying and undergoing a remarkable transformation. And with its vision of 2040, the country is definitely diversifying from oil dependency to investing heavily in logistics, tourism, renewables, healthcare, fintechs, and much more, which definitely Dr. Yousuf will take us through the journey. And definitely this has created a lot of ground, or a fertile ground, for our finance professionals to contribute meaningfully. Chartered accountants from India are definitely highly respected in Oman for their technical excellencies, ethical grounding, and ability to adopt. And I am sure CA Jai and Abhishek will take us through in the journey. Whether we know IFRS, taxations, transfer pricings, digital transformations, the demand is right across various SMEs, advisory firms, and conglomerative, which I'm sure Ms. Juhaina will touch upon during her talk. Additionally, Oman, everybody knows, has free zones also, friendly tax regimes. It's also growing culture for startups, is what I have understood. And it's not just for employment, but entrepreneurship, consulting, setting up your own practices. It's a land of opportunities, and I think we would be glad to know more about it. And for this, I would definitely like to thank all of you to gather today. Thanks to our Vice President and President-elect, C.A. Zubin Bhai, to address the gathering. And thanks to Vivek and Preeti for organizing this and getting this for our members, which the SMPR committee always look forward for membership development. And this is one of the areas where we need to develop now, if we want to grow into a larger size firms or a larger advisory or consultancy firms. So I am looking forward for this interesting event, and definitely all of us can learn a more about it out of this. Thank you, Vivek, and I think we can move ahead.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Now, I would first like to introduce our first speaker for the day, and the guest of honor, Ms. Juhaina Al Balushi. She works for the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion. She is an investment promotion specialist, and the ministry has assigned her to address our gathering over here today. So over to you, Ms. Juhaina.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation to present Oman as one of the investment environment. And I'm happy to have the chance to present the Sultanate and Invest Oman as a place in this gathering. So let me share my presentation, my screen. So first, Invest Oman is the government's official gateway for large-scale investment projects in Oman. Let's start with the Sultanate of Oman at a glance. So the population of the Sultanate have reached 5 million, and we have a very youth population with an average age of 25 years. And we have a very long coastline of 3,165 kilometers. Our FDIs have been reached in the last quarter. Here we have mistake. Last quarter in 2024, 65 billion USD. As you know, we have a competitive advantage of a strategic prime location. As you see here, the Sultanate of Oman is in the middle of the board, as we are close to 59 million consumers in the GCC countries, and we are close to the emerging markets in Asia and Africa. So we can reach consumers based on 2.6 billion and connectivity to vital trade routes between the East and the West. As you see here, we have many FTAs we have been signed with the Sultanate of Oman. The most important one is with GCC countries, with European countries, as well as with Arab countries. And we have with US an FTA, and there's many FTAs. They are in the last negotiating stage with India, China, and Asian countries. So the FTAs gave the investor like the opportunity or the incentives to invest in the Sultanate and to have larger markets in the world. So in our infrastructure, let's say the investment infrastructure in the Sultanate, we have many airports. Main 4 airports are distributed among our coastline. We have in Suhar in the north of the Sultanate. We have in Muscat, Duqm, and Salalah. And we have many ports within the free zones, and we have more than 9 industrial zones are distributed in the Sultanate. Those areas or those strategic areas have been reached or have been targeted more than 52 billion USD, and we are targeting to reach 22 strategic areas by 2040 as Oman Vision 2040. Here we have incentives. We call them the general incentives for every investors. We have up to 100% foreign ownership. We have tax exemptions up to 30 years, and they are subjected to be renewed. And we have competitive land and service prices in free zones, industrial areas. We have custom duties exemptions up to 5 years. We have investor residency. We have 2 categories. We have the 10 years and 5 years. And we have a very integrated e-services, as all of our services can be done automatically from online. And we have some special incentives we offer to the strategic projects, as we have here in Invest Oman. We have a team called National Negotiating Team. They are negotiating in the most strategic opportunities or projects to give them some exemptions and some special incentives. So as I mentioned before, Invest Oman as a place is the Omani government's arm for large-scale investment opportunities. So as I am here in the office, we are in Invest Oman. It's an initiative have been developed to be like a one-stop shop for projects with capital more than 1 million Omani Riyal. Invest Oman contains CRM system, which is customer relationship managers. So we have relationship manager who are dedicated to help the investor starting from entering this place until he or she finalize the process of investment. We have so the investor can deal with one person for the whole journey. We have an online platform, which is Investor Oman platform. It contains all the opportunities, the incentives, and what are the special, like what are the license, the approvals that the investor may need. It's all in the platform. We have the national negotiating team, as I mentioned before. They are a team dedicated to to provide incentives, special incentives for investors for the strategic projects who may need like special land rates, special gas incentives, and so on. And we have the integrated services. So this place, we have more than 15 government entities and companies who are related directly to finalize the license and approvals in one place. And we have the fast track team and go-to-market team. Go-to-market team, it's a new team who are targeting a specific companies in the world. So they always like visiting the countries to meet a specific companies to bring them here in Oman and to present the incentives and facilitation for them. And as I mentioned, we are focusing on like achieving Oman Vision 2040. So there is some sectors we are focusing on, such as tourism, mining, logistics, manufacturing, food security, and there's other sectors. We call them like enablers for the main sectors, which are which are ICT, education, healthcare, and circular economy. So as you see here, there's some numbers to prove that there is expected growth in those main sectors. So that's why we are focusing to provide top investments in those sectors. So in minerals and minings, I will go through those sectors like in brief. So to show what are the competitive advantages we have in those sectors. So in regarding mining, we have abundance of raw materials locally to support commercial sectors operations here in Oman. And we have high availability of limestones with the reserves totaling up to 2.5 billion tons. And as you know, in Oman, in the region, we have limited competition in supplying local and regional markets with the green cement products for constructions products. So that's why we have a competitive advantage in this sector. Moving to tourism, so we are targeting the luxurious tourism. As you see, we have an expected growth from 20 billion USD in 2018 to 150 billion USD in 2032. So we have a projected growth of visitors in the Sultanate, and as I mentioned, Oman is one of the special countries with a very long coastline and a prime and strategic location. And regarding the logistics, we have demand, a huge demand of cold chain infrastructure driven by the need of meet growing logistical needs. We have strategic location, as I mentioned before, with ample market demand in Al Batna, Muscat, Al Wusta, and Dhofar governorates. And we have a well-developed infrastructure, including roads, airports, ports, and free zones. And regarding manufacturing, we have abundance of raw materials, and we have access to industrial land near to deep water ports, facilitating shipping routes to India and the US, like approximately within 20 days. And we can, of course, benefiting from the free trade agreement between United States and the Sultanate of Oman. And regarding green economy and energy, actually Oman, one of the countries who are focusing on the green energy, and we are moving to focusing on low cost energy. And as one of our projects, it's called Hydrum. It's a company who are dedicated to take care of the green energy projects, which called Oman Green Hydrogen Roadmap. It's done by Hydron company. So these are some opportunities on offer as Oman is focusing on, based on Oman Vision 2040. In real estate, development, we have major urban developments and housing projects. We have like 4 main projects. Now we are like working on it in Oman. One of the main projects, Sultan Haytham City, Al Khuwair downtown. Al Khuwair downtown will be like the first downtown in the Sultanate with like skyscrapers in Sultanate of Oman. We have Oman Mountains destination and integrated residential complex. So this slide shows like why Oman is one of the most important investment environment and what are the competitive advantage we have. So just to recap my presentation, we have free trade agreements with multiple countries. We have repast infrastructure with world-class logistics, economic growth and stability. Of course, 100% ownership for investors, attractive laws and legislation, business readiness and ease of doing business, and a high skilled and youth talent pool of competitive manpower. So here you can scan the QR code of our investor guide and the website investment map. So investment map shows the investment opportunities that are distributed in the Oman map, and you can see some details regarding those opportunities, and you can apply directly to those opportunities to get the pre-feasibility study and to get contact to the RM here in Investor Oman. And you can see the investor guide, which can show all incentives are available in the free zones, industrial estates, as well as the sectors in the Sultanate. So this is about the presentation, and if you have any question or inquiries, we'll be here to, inshallah, answer those questions. And thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Juhaina. A very informative and very crisp and concise presentation that you've done. You've touched upon most of the important points, which will give a lot of idea to all our participants to understand which are the areas where we can work on and where our clients would benefit. So I would like to propose a vote of thanks to you for having spared your time, joining today's webinar, and being and for the fantastic presentation that you have shared with all of us. Now, our next speaker for the day, our next speaker for the day is Dr. Yousuf Al Balushi. He's a thought leader. He was an ex-Central Bank of Oman. He's from he has written multiple articles in leading newspapers and online magazines of Oman. In fact, his PhD is also in about investments in Oman, foreign direct investments in Oman. So we can say with a lot of certainty that he is the thought leader who is going to guide us for today. And before that, before going to Dr. Yousuf, I would like to say that if our participants have any questions, please feel free to put them in the question and answer box so that we can take them up after Dr. Yousuf's presentation. So over to you, Dr. Yousuf.
Thank you, Vivek, and thank you for the president and the chairman for giving us this opportunity. Let me share my screen first. Yes, Vivek, is it presentation shared?
Yes, sir. We can see the presentation.
Okay, okay. Anyhow, before I proceed, I would like really to thank also you yourself and Mr. President and the Chairman and Charter Account Bombay for this opportunity. It's honestly an opportunity for us to share some of the thought. And when it comes to India, honestly, I mean, our relationship is not new. I think more than 5,000. I mean, we've been our people working together, trading together, and we've been neighbors, and will remain neighbors. And for people who don't know that, I mean, in earlier 70s, we even used Indian rupees here in a lot of our transactions. So, and I think, I thought to take you into our journey, Oman. I mean, our renaissance start earlier 1970s. I mean, we progress nicely in all aspects. You name it, in educations, on growth, on infrastructures, on peace and stability, and cultures. And if you, I'm sure, I mean, as business people, definitely you will follow the indicators. And we are really scoring high when it comes to stability, when it comes to the growth, when it comes to the FDI potential. And you know, the country now finished its Vision 2020 and moving now toward Vision 2040, where I will shed the light on this vision, because that is one of the thing I think we need really to consider, that we are moving toward more integrations and working with friends and with neighbors. One of the strategic direction for us is really to attract kind of FDI and other mean of investment to come to the country. I'd like to highlight one point which is really important, which is related to the political economy of Oman. Unlike a lot of countries, Oman political economy is very stable, and particularly when nowadays where a lot of uncertainty in all aspects, geopolitical aspect and others. And for us, I think we've been known, I mean, Oman well known and been really able really to demonstrate that it is, as they call it, is the Switzerland of the Middle East. And we remain really very solid. We are having very, what you call it, moderate, nicely. I mean, try really to call for always peace and stability for the region. And I think our Indian friends is very close to us, and they know that. So from political point of view, we can really answer a lot of uncertain questions about what will be the action if something happen or going in any direction. So that is really for us is very important highlight. When it comes to growth, I mean, if I'll take it historically, Oman grew by 7.5 in average from 1970 to 2020, which is it was really a remarkable growth rate from 1970 to 1995. Sorry, and from 1996 to 2020, grow also by 3.5, which is also a good growth rate. And we are aimed to grow by 5% from 2021 to 2040, which is really progressing nicely. But now we have different focus, which is mainly related to trying to focus in a lot of in country value. We need really to manufacture things locally. We need really to start producing some service locally. And that is definitely, we will be able to do it if we work closely with our friends, our trusted friends from India and from other neighboring country. And if you look to this slide, you can see a very, what do you call it, good trend of FDI increasing year after year. We reach to 40 billion, which is a good numbers for Oman. Again, India is the second largest trade partner, as the Vice President mentioned. And also, we are attracting quite good investment from India, but more, honestly, we are aiming for attracting more Indian investment, more of Indian profession, chartered accountant or other profession. And also we are, you know, why we want to do that, honestly, we want to diversify the economy. If you see the second graph here, we have a concentration of foreign direct investment in one sector, which is oil and gas. And that's obvious because it is the backbone of the country. However, now we want to move to other sector like like manufacturing, like mining, like others, what Juhaina is highlight. And because we are having a genuine comparative advantages. I'll go through them one by one. You can see also the FDI from India over the last 5 years, and I will be able to share this presentation with you and other of my investment-related publication. Now, let us talk about the vision 2040, and I think this is very important for you because Vision 2040 is quite or complementary with the Vision 2020. Now we want to join the world developed country. So the world developed country has a very dynamic private sector, for example. So we want really to make our private sector more resilience, more active, to enable to diversify the economy, to enable to create job for our young growing populations. And that is, again, because if you look to the business model of Oman, like other GCC countries, we are an oil-driven economy and where government play a significant role. Now we want really to encourage the private sector. Private sector doesn't mean that it's only owned and managed by Omani. No, I mean private sector could be foreign direct investment, could be really some manufacturing and others. And that is where really I think upcoming SEPA agreement is going really to be a game changer for both countries that can enhance more of the investment, enhance more of trade, enhance more of the what you call it relationship. And I think soon we are going to hear some good news in this regard. So what Vision 2040 is calling for? It's calling for investment, it's calling for fixing our business cycle, it's calling for really FDI attraction, try to really different titles or themes. We are very concerned about productivity, about really working with what they call it, international company, try to really make the best out of the advantage. So vision, the good thing about vision that being formulated by a wide society participation. So, and I mean, we are very proud to say that we don't have big four who work in our vision. So vision being prepared and formulated by Omanis. So I was lucky to be among that team who really move around the different governated. We are having here 12 governated in Oman. Each of those governated, I mean, we are talking about around 64 wilayat. Each one of these wilayat and governated has its own unique advantages which can be built on. So one of the strategic direction we have is decentralizations, and where we, with the help of the government, with the help of the private sector, and try to attract, for example, FDI who is really suitable to that region or to that governorate. And I think we are successful so far in doing so. So the good thing about the vision, it's being from the local and from the people to the people, and it is centered around 12 strategic directions and priorities. And you can see here the first one is the private sector, and encouraging private sector, encouraging investment and international collaboration. I think that been nicely demonstrated. His Majesty Sultan Haytham been to India and he meet with the Prime Minister, and also we receive him here, and there is a lot of discussion happen, and also he visit other country. So thing is really moving in a good speed, and as I mentioned, we are really looking forward for this SEPA to come into practice and to open gate for opportunity for both nations. Also, one of the economic what they call it, or the strategic direction is achieving the economic diversification, is really achieving what they call it a stable labor market. And to do so, we are trying really to put in place a proper legal framework, a proper frame, what do you call it, business environment. And I think that's been nicely translated. I mean, last year we have growth of 16% of our FDI attraction. And maybe if you come across that, our debt was really an issue. It was more than 65, and with the great financial stability, we managed to bring it down to 33% to GDP, which is good. And also even our credit rating, we've been improved significantly. We are in a very positive now rating. So let me talk here a little bit more about what investment opportunity available. And I will be very brief because each one of those sectors, I cover them in details in one or two articles. And those articles, I think, Vivek, possible to share it on this on the link. So people can, when we talk about fisheries, we really demonstrate why fishery is an important sector and why it is carry a lot of what do you call it, value proposition for the country. Because we are having a Gulf, we have Oman Sea, and we have also Indian Ocean. So we have, I mean, Oman among really a good has a very good stock of fishery, and we are really having that eager of developing this sector. And I think we are moving, but we will need our Indian friend to also participate and bring their best practice and really to help us to take it. And I try to list some of the opportunity here, including I mean, doing the value added processing, and instead also try to build some manufacture of ships and manufacture of all related industry around the fishery sector. And government, as Juhaina clearly demonstrates, is really supporting the investor, and they're receiving them on their launch. And if we talk another sector which is really carry a very good opportunity, particularly for Indian, is the mining sector. I think whoever visit Oman, you can see mounting is everywhere. And we have a distinguished, what they call it, opportunity when it comes to mining. We have, I mean, you name it, gypsum, we are #1 globally in terms of the quantity, and also in terms, we have very good quality gypsum, limestone, marble, chromite, copper, you name it. So I think there is a very good company who could come and demonstrate their vast experience to come and really make it a win-win. When Oman can win by really building a downstream and midstream industry related to the sector I'm going to talk about, and at the same time leveraging their experience, their strategic success to come and really make it happen here in the country. But maybe, I mean, we've been criticized as Omani. We are not able to market it well, so it can really appear to the investor, and they can make decision to really visit and really to test and really to, as they said. So I mean, seeing is believing. Government also create good state-owned company in those sectors, like here, mining development Oman, fishery development Oman. So to carry, I mean, to be sometime like a partner for the FDI, and to really facilitate and open gate for the investor. I think manufacturing is very promising sector for the country, and I think we are witnessing a good flow of Indian investment in these sectors. But more, because one of the challenges we are facing here in Oman and other, honestly, GCC country, because we are relying heavily on oil and gas, we tend to export oil and gas, and we tend to also to import most of the thing, particularly in manufacturing sector. So here, when it comes to utilities, when it comes to the gas price, to availability of other ingredients, it's available. So just we need really to be able to attract some good manufacturers from India and enjoy the benefit of this what they call it incentive provide, and which is really nicely demonstrated in Juhaina's presentation. Tourism sector, we start seeing good flow. I mean, for Indian tourists, people also sometimes coming to organize their weddings here, and Oman, it's what they call it the best kept secret. I think some of you visit the country and they witness. I mean, how close is the culture here in Oman if you compare it back home in India. So, and that sector still need to be marketed well, need really to be able to attract a successful what they call it company from India to come, because unfortunately most of our souvenirs company who's we imported. So we wanted to start really doing things locally from people who used to do it before. I mean, people who's good in marketing. We need them to help us to have a better marketing campaign to attract a better quality tourist. So logistic. So those sector, I mean, we have more than 12 promising sector, but those particularly 5, this is we call them is a strategic sector. Logistic, I think whoever look to the map, I mean, Oman stand out for really their unique location and out of Hormuz. So instead of go inside the Hormuz, pay more insurance, spend more time, spend more money. I mean, Oman could be really a gateway, it could be a hub from Oman to that. And I think that is how, I mean, if we look to the history, how this is kind of where Oman and India work nicely together in trading. I mean, from Oman to other side, to India. And I think we demonstrate the success in the past, and I think we can do it in the future. However, we need really to circular sectors and also the renewable sector. We can see also a very good flow from Indian company coming for hydrogen, Acme, for example, from India, and we can also when it comes for a circular economy, when it comes to the waste management and waste technology, and government try really to push hard. And trust me, I mean, here you take it from government, you take it from private sector, everyone is really looking forward to achieve the Vision 2040, which is based on diversification and economic integration. So I think there is no better time to really to consider to come and really visit the country and try to really see what opportunity we have. This sector, I spent more than 14 years in the central bank, and we are really happy to work with some colleagues from India, from Reserve Bank of India. We do learn a lot from their experience, their expertise, and I think this sector has a lot of potential. We are looking to attract more of traditional digital banking, investment banking. We are looking for private equity. We are looking for insurance, sector to be really again finance company. So all this has a huge opportunity. I will share this document with the. And by the way, I have this presentation is SSIG Smart Investment Gateway with our partner from TwinBid, which has also a global reach based on the quarter in Singapore, India. They have also office in Canada, and we are quite busy trying to help investors, trying to really to create opportunity. So are we ready? Definitely. I mean, from point of someone who's very close to the business environment in Oman, Oman is ready, and really it has an outstanding advantage for investors who want to grow. So I will share these presentations with you, and please feel free to ask, and this kind of service we can provide. We'll be more than happy to support you in the capacity we can. So that's it from my end.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yousuf. Your presentation was really insightful. It will help our members in identifying which businesses and which investments can our clients do in Oman, and what are the other business opportunities that can be tapped in Oman. Sir, we have received a couple of questions. The first question is for Ms. Juhaina. So, madam, the question to you is that you mentioned about a 30-year tax benefit in free zones. Could you highlight what exactly is a tax benefit in the free zones in Oman?
Mr. Vivek, can you repeat the question, please?
Sure. You had mentioned in your presentation about a tax benefit which is available for businesses which are set up in free zones. So could you explain what exactly is a tax benefit, how many years, and why, in which regions, how many years tax benefit is available? Since we are chartered accountants, the most of our clients are interested in getting some tax benefits.
Sure. So the tax exemption, if we are talking about the tax exemption, it's in the free zones and industrial states. Those tax are for 5 years for the equipments, machines, and those items related to industry and manufacturing, and they are for 5 years and subjected to be renewed for the same years.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah. Thank you so much. For Dr. Yousuf, we've received two questions. The first question is about what are the benefits that manufacturers can get in Oman if they want to export their goods to the US? This is in view of the tariffs and the trade war.
Yeah, this is very good questions, Vivek, and really see here because government. I mean, as Johanna mentioned, we sign a lot of bilateral agreement and free trade agreement. One of them with the USA. So I mean, if you really manufacture here, and I think you are committed to 35 in-country content, easily you can export it to US free of tax, and that is really a huge benefit. For I mean, you know, I think if you know, there is only 20 countries globally that has that kind of privilege, where you can really, I mean, do manufacture here in Muscat and Oman in any of our free zone and send it. And by the way, from Salalah to US, it's only 2 weeks. And there is a really very active connectivity between Salalah port. So one benefit is that you will be able to access to this huge market, which is the American market, without tariff, number one. Number two, also government, because government is really encouraging to do things locally and to maximize the in-country value. So encourage Indian manufacturers to come and set up their factory here. And sometime, in some cases, there is some offtake agreement. I mean, because if you are manufacturing here in Oman, government sometimes give you 10 to 20% a privilege for you compared with whatever is being imported. And I think that is really work nicely now to enhance the diversification agenda in the country. And I think there is a lot of people they don't know that. I mean, this kind of opportunity available. Instead of we are importing almost 80% or 75% of our at least local consumption, we can really do it here and to prevent the leakages of the foreign currency toward the imports of those goods and services by doing it locally. And number two, the government now also embark in a very ambitious program for export promotions. And if you are here, it will not be treated as an Indian factory. It will be a Omani factory, and you will be eligible to take the benefit of other factory in Oman. So to reach other market, to be able to reach, to get some incentive for credit or for insurance or for shipping or for this and that, that will be eligible. So I think we need maybe to be educate the investor more about what kind of benefits we have.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. So thank you so much for your time. And now we move to Now we move to our next speaker for the day, which is CA Jay Duseja. CA Jay Duseja is the Director of Indirect Taxation at Deloitte Middle East, and more specifically, he is in Oman. He has worked across India, UAE, and Oman. Prior to joining his position at Deloitte Oman, he was also empaneled as a faculty for UAE indirect tax laws, and now he's heading the indirect tax division at Deloitte Muscat. He's also a managing committee member at ICAI Oman, and he handles the legal and compliance subcommittee at ICAI Oman chapter. With this, over to you, Jay.
Thank you, Vivek. I'll share my screen. Good afternoon, everyone. Firstly, I would like to thank a special thank you to Bombay Chartered Accountants Society for giving me this opportunity to present before its members. Welcome to my co-speakers and all the participants. So let's see what I'm going to cover today. So I'm going to cover majority from employment perspective. Then my colleague Abhishek will be covering from a practicing chartered accountant perspective. So let us start with the point, why Oman? So as Dr. Yousuf and Juhaina mentioned, Oman is very politically stable country. They don't they have diplomatic relations with all the countries, and in case of uh, whenever there is a wars, they don't take side of any one particular country. They always remain neutral. So in that way, they are very political stable. And as you saw in Dr. Yusuf's slide, as of now, 75% of GDP is driven from oil and gas, which the country wants to divert to non-oil gas economy by 2040. So they have come up with large projects to diversify their economy, which can be opportunity for us as a chartered accountants. Also, there are investor friendly tax policies and many free trade agreements, tax free salaries if you are planning to have an employment in Oman, zero personal income tax compared to 20 to 30% corporate income tax in India and other countries. Professional mobility, like many professionals, they take Oman as a base to get experience, and then ultimately they move it to European countries like UK or US by gaining the experience from Oman. Also, there's a great work-life balance in Oman. I would say it compared to Mumbai or UAE, the atmosphere, the work culture is very much balanced. You can give sufficient time to your family, and you will love the peace in Oman. So that's the biggest reason. So whenever I meet any clients or any Indian fellow chartered accountants in Oman, and I ask them how long you're in Oman, their answer is almost in double digits, ranging from 10 years to even 40 years in many cases. Then another factor to consider Oman is lower living cost. So when you are considering to shift into GCC, if you compare the cost of living of Oman with UAE and Qatar, there's a huge difference. I would say almost 30 to 40% lesser than the neighboring countries. So these are the key points. We'll see more detail in the coming slides. So let us see which are the key sectors in which chartered accountants have opportunities from employment perspective. So there are large multinational corporations in oil and gas, in pharma and logistics sectors like Shell, British Petroleum, Total Energies. In those, employment opportunities are always there. Government entities and state-owned entities like Petroleum Development Oman, Occidental, uh, OQ, which are the state-owned entities. In those, there are great opportunities. Free zones and SEZ, many companies are coming over there, establishing their manufacturing facilities to avail the benefits. And when they establish such large-scale facilities, they require the skilled resources like Indian chartered accountants. Then, as usual, we have big four firms and local audit and tax firms offering employment opportunities. Then let us see which are the key roles and profiles. So tax is something which is introduced few years ago in Oman. Till before that, it used to be zero tax country. Like neither there used to be corporate tax or excise or VAT. So VAT was introduced from 16th April 2021 onwards. Excise tax was introduced in 2019, and corporate tax was there from many years, but formally it was reformed from 2017 onwards. So that brings opportunities for chartered accountants, those who are known for their expertise, interpretational skills in tax and the other local legislations. So in addition to tax, there are other opportunities like in finance, in internal audit. IFRS is gaining again a good response now. Recently, IFRS was mandated even for small and medium enterprises. So there's a lot of demand for professionals who are specialists in IFRS and the international standards. Then, with the advancement of technology and the AI, I am seeing there are a lot of projects relating to ERP implementation, digitalization, and IT advancement. So now we know our chartered accountants not only limited to tax or the accounting. There are many firms, CA firms who are expert into ERP implementation and the digital projects. So they can also explore these areas and gain the opportunity. And also there is a lot of demand in advisory and management consulting because of lot of mergers and acquisitions which are being happening in the region. Let us quickly see what is the on an average salary and the benefits. So the figures which are there on my screen are in range. Some companies pay higher than this also, but I have taken on and around average. So if you start with a fresher chartered accountant, if they start with at an associate level, the pay starts from 600 Omani Riyal. One Omani Riyal equals to around 220 Indian rupees. So it is the third highest currency in the world after Kuwaiti dinar and the Bahraini dinar. For finance manager having 5 to 8 years, it starts from generally from 1500 to 2000 Omani Riyal. And for tax consultants from 1000 to 1600 having 3 to 5 years experience. And for CFO, it starts usually from 2500 and it can range even to 4000 plus. So these are the general cash salaries. In addition to this, you get housing, medical, and air tickets. And as I mentioned, there's zero tax on the salaries. And similar to India, there is also gratuity benefits, which are called end of service benefits in Oman, which are usually 1 month's salary for every year of completion. So till now we discussed opportunities, salary ranges. Now I would like to share few considerations which are must to be considered if you want to take the maximum benefit of the Oman market. First is Arabic language. If you are having knowledge of Arabic language, you will have a upper hand. I see many chartered accountants who are coming from Kerala. They know how to read and write in Arabic, so it's a advantage for them because official language of Oman is Arabic. Most of the laws and the documents are also published in Arabic. If you are planning to shift to Oman, I would suggest to have a little bit of Arabic knowledge. Then local work permits in Oman, it's not easy to shift immediate change the jobs because from most of the companies, an NOC is required from your employer if you want to shift to another employer within Oman without changing the country. So that is the point which you must consider that if you are planning to come, have a long-term vision. Then in some of the roles, market is bit saturated because I mentioned it's a very peaceful country. So people, those who are already there, they don't like to shift or leave their roles so easily. They are there for many years. So it causes a little bit of saturation in the market. Then adherence of local laws and policies. I remember when I was in 2017 in Mumbai for my GST faculty training, one of our mentors, they advised us that if you are planning to shift in Middle East countries, don't take the tax aggressive approach which usually practitioners follow in India. Here in Oman, it's conservative approach. Don't think that I can evade the law and I will fight in the courts. It's not easy. So adherence to local laws, a change in the mindset from aggressive to a conservative approach is suggested. And then another factor is competition from various other nationalities. In Oman, it's not only Indians and Omanis. There are various other nationalities like Pakistanis, European countries, from UK, from Singapore, from Malaysia. So, though there are opportunities, there's an equal competition from all other nationalities also. So these are the points which I would suggest that you come prepared if you're looking for opportunities in Oman. Lastly, few suggestions from my side before I hand over back to Vivek and to Abhishek. Connect with ICI Oman chapter to have a larger leverage of networking and to know what's going on ground, meet with the people, those who are there in this region from many years, to have the technical knowledge enhancement and take the maximum benefits as you are also getting benefits from Bombay Chartered Accountant Society. Second, before shifting, have the knowledge beforehand of the local laws in Oman, like for VAT, corporate tax, or commercial companies law. So that will give you a benefit in appearing in the interviews and clearing the positions. Upskill your qualities in ERP like Oracle, SAP, data analytics, Power BI, Tableau. Those are gaining popularity in the when if you're looking for an employment in Oman. Also, there are various regulatory laws which are getting implemented in Oman, like ESG, AML, transfer pricing. So, if you have a skill set in any of those new practices, you will have sufficient opportunities to gain an employment in Oman rather than the traditional positions of a finance or an, I would say, in the accounting domain. So that was quick from my side. I'll hand over to Vivek and happy to take any questions at the end in the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jay. It was a very crisp presentation and again to the point and directly addresses most of the issues or questions which chartered accountants from India would have. Now we go to the last speaker for the day, that is CA Abhishek Vaishya. He is also a part of ICI Oman chapter. He's a managing committee member over there. He runs a cloud kitchen apart from running a practice under the name of Dynamics Business Consultants Group. Abhishek has vast experience in running and leading a management consultancy come audit firm of his own, and Abhishek has been in Oman for almost 8 years now. With this, I would like to invite C. Abhishek Vaishya to please come on screen and start his presentation.
Hi. Good evening to all the members, and special thanks to Vivek and the other committee members from the BCAS. I'll be just sharing my screen. Just a second. All right. So I'll be specifically discussing about the opportunities for CAs in Oman, especially from the practice angle. Most of the points have already been covered by my other members, other speakers. Why choose Oman? Stable economic environment, strategic location. Just 1 second. Growing diversification, government support for the SMEs, all those things have been already covered. I'll specifically come directly to the practice angle. Upcoming projects. So most of the projects have already been explained by Juhaina, but 1 or 2 projects which have not been told are like, government is very aggressively working on local partnership with the businesses. And a lot of developments have been happening on special economic zone. Logistics are given a top priority. 2 of the major economic zones, one is Dukum economic zone and the Sohar economic zone, are getting a huge investments from across the globe, since definitely because of the strategic location of the ports and this particular special economic zones. Key areas or opportunities for Indian CAs which you guys can target is definitely apart from any other traditional practices like auditing, tax consultancy. Even a lot of chartered accountants in Oman are even doing the business setup and the corporate structuring practices, which is also one of the biggest practice, which you as a practicing chartered accountant you can focus on. Transfer pricing has got quite a big significance of late. There have been, as Jay has told specifically in 2017, a lot of reforms have happened in taxation. So transfer pricing has become the next big thing in Oman, and related party transactions and everything have been quite closely, considered. So transfer pricing practice also in Oman is quite getting quite big, and visibility. ERP structuring, sustainability reporting, ESG, digital tax administration, e-invoicing have been introduced in most of the GCC countries. So it's in the verge of getting introduced in Oman as well. So that is also another thing which in practicing chartered accountant can look into. Transaction business advisory services, corporate financing consultancy. Now, since most of the things have already been covered, so I'm just directly coming to how to start an audit and consultancy firm. Before starting a consultancy firm, the very basic thing which most of us are very much aware of, because we being the consultant for various businesses, is before you come into Oman, it's always better to have a proper business plan. Define the services, which all the services, which all those things which I've covered in the earlier slide. Where are your niche, where you exactly want to target. If you define well in advance, that will help you in penetrating the market quite well, understanding the market segments, pricing, what are the pricing, how are the other consultants charging for various services within Oman. So that will just help you in understanding your costing, your helping will help you in planning your cash flow and other things. The next important thing will be registration and licensing. The moment you are ready with your business plan, immediately you guys can register your company. The company formation procedure in Oman is not that strict, not that difficult. It's quite smooth. You can just define what exactly your legal entity you're looking for, whether you want to form an LLC company or a sole proprietorship company. And after forming your company, you need to obtain a professional license. Like definitely from India, you need to take in permission, and from local authority. The local authority which governs the auditing practice is Financial Service Authority, along with Capital Market Authority. So FSA is Financial Security Authority. Infrastructure and technology, an office setup is definitely required in order to get the license activated. And without that, license will be a little difficult. You cannot get the license. So it's well in advance. The moment you set up your company, it's always important that you finalize the office setup and the location. Audit tools which you will be using, CRM software, what you will be using, that is the most important thing. Then team and partnership, skills, CAs, local partners of compliances and networking, branding and marketing. Definitely a digital presence will be required in order to get a better visibility within the market. Then the next important thing is, as we have discussed about forming the company. So Mr. Yousuf and Juhaina has already covered about this thing. The licensing authority will be Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So the moment you form your company, the company formation will be done under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Then the licensing for setting up the audit practice, you need to get a special license from Financial Service Authority and Capital Market Authority, especially in cases when you're going to do the audit for the listed companies, SAOC or SAOG companies in Oman. Requirement for foreign CAs, local sponsors or partnerships are required. So that's very case to case basis, wherein you will be also looking for you will be in the need of a local sponsor. Because the ministry gets into all those things before giving you the license, in order to practice in Oman, they check your experiences in your particular country, where you're coming from, how much has been your experience in running the audit business. And they also are pushing for a local sponsorship, because that just gives an added advantage to the country as well. Mandatory compliances like local employment, Omanization quota will be required. Tax registration and periodic filing will be required on a regular basis, just like any other country's compliances, and adherence to the Omani commercial laws. Opportunities where I can focus on, where I see a lot of opportunities currently in Oman is, for us as a chartered accountant, is handling the family business governance, succession planning. It's getting quite popular, and people are looking for this kind of services, and the support and the expertise of the chartered accountants who are based in India for many years and has got this kind of experiences. Digital transformation and support, SMEs have there's a lot of growth in the SMEs in Oman, and they're also moving towards cloud accounting and the ERP system. So that's the another thing where we see a lot of digital transformation happening from a traditional practice, and a lot of things have been moving to the cloud. So that is where also a lot of opportunities are coming in for the chartered accountants. Financial management outsourcing, CFO as a service has become a very next big thing. Budgeting, MIS reporting, a lot of things have been even outsourced to India and other places across the globe, wherein a lot of financial related matters, budgeting matters, and MIS reporting have been outsourced. Expanding entrepreneurial ecosystem like startup, free zone, SMEs, incentives. The possible challenges which we see when you're running a CA practice in Oman could be getting the license initially, may take some time because of certain legal complexities. Local competition, definitely, because there are a lot of chartered accountants who've already, especially when the VAT had come into the country, a lot of chartered accountants from across the globe have come into the market and have already started creating the dominance in the market. So that could be a little it will be an initial challenge for a new firm to come and establish in Oman. Cash flow management could be a little critical. and building a trust, because you will be new. So, as Jay has also mentioned about the local having a good hold on the Arabic language, local trust, and building up the networking may take some time. So role for Indian CAs in Oman, which I can see is the cross-border expertise. We see an overall thing wherein, like, since a lot of transactions from Oman is happening with India and the other parts of the world, the expert chartered accountants who have got the cross-border handling of cross-border transactions or expertise in handling this kind of transaction can play a very important role, and can help the clients with the structuring and planning to navigate in such a way that Omani regulation, the Indian regulation are taken, given the proper importance. Investment structuring has also become the next big thing, especially after the free trade agreement discussion happening between Oman and India, and almost on the verge of getting signed. A lot of new businesses from India are expected to invest in Oman, so there also a very important role can be played by the Indian chartered accountants into the Oman market. Regulatory compliances, ensuring the companies meet local audit and the tax obligation, and the policy contribution. So overall, this is how the entire scenario we see from the practice perspective.
Thank you so much, Abhishek, for this presentation about the practical scenarios and about opportunities and challenges. Both you beautifully covered them. So first, I have a question for Abhishek. So Abhishek, we've received a question that how easy or difficult is it to approach the authorities for getting the approvals? As you said, for example, there are certain approvals required from the FSA. So how easy is it and how to approach them? Do we have to write emails to them, or is someone required to physically visit the department?
See, FSA as a body has been introduced just last year. Earlier, there was no such requirement. In order to, since the audit work has been increasing, and after the introduction of so many taxes in the country, FSA has been specially set up as a body to regulate the work of all the auditors. So it's a very new thing overall. But however, the thing is, based on my experience with the other chartered accountants who have recently established, it's not that difficult. It's quite easier, and the government are very much happy to support. Especially, they just check your credibility. That's the most important thing in order to get you the in order to approve their audit license in your name. But more or less, it's more of like especially getting the approval. It's an online thing, but it may take some time, which will be there needs to be a regular follow with the authorities for this approval.
Okay. There's another question that we've received in the Q&A box, which is for Jay. That is it for chartered accountants practicing or working out of India? How easy or difficult is it to get work on a freelancing basis, and how can one get that?
Sure, Vivek. So I would say it's not too easy or too difficult. But to explore that, I would suggest to visit once in Oman, meet with the audit firms, build your connects so that they can trust you and outsource the work. Just by contacting from India, you won't be able to gain trust of the chartered accountant firms in Oman or even direct clients in Oman. So I would suggest have 2 3 visits, build your network connections, show them your capability, and accordingly they can outsource you like bookkeeping, accounting, or payroll services, and then you can deliver through India. Couple of industries have restrictions like financial services. They have restrictions that they cannot outsource accounting function outside Oman. Other than those, there are many other industries wherein it can be easily outsourced.
Okay, all right. There's another question for Dr. Yousuf. Sir, if you could unmute yourself. So, doctor, there's a question which was asked regarding which minerals or what are the opportunities for rare earth minerals or untapped natural resources in the mining sector? Which minerals are abundantly available and for which mining leases are supposed to be given out by the ministry, by the Mining Development Authority?
Yeah, see, this is a good question. See, the mining is still one of the untapped sector in Oman, because the focus remain in oil and gas. So mining, it's progressing now, but it's really slow. So Oman known, and please, I have one brief. You could share it with them. I mean, that brief is only about mining, talking about what kind of minerals we have available, grade, and maybe also in the reserve, and also thing related to the business environment on the mining sector. So mining sector, it is a very good input for even manufacturing sector. So as I mentioned, Oman is number one when it comes to the gypsum. And we do export a lot to India. Also calcium carbonate, and we have chromite, we have copper, we have, I mean, even I will not talk much about critical minerals. There is, but that's still under explorations. And really would like to welcome, a very well-known mining player from India to come to Oman, because this sector particularly is untapped. I mean, if you recall Oman, before name as Oman, they name it as Majan. Majan means the hub of mining or the minerals hub. So that is our. So just we need to do more of work, more of really exploration, and really there is a lot of dot can be connected on this sector. So I think that the person who asked this question, he knows that we do have a huge potential, and we'll be really looking forward to explore it together.
Sure, sir. Jay, there's one more question which has come related to work from home opportunities. I think which you mentioned that it's best to first connect. But could you throw some light on work from home opportunities in Omani firms? Is that a concept that works over there in Oman?
So it's a hybrid which is followed, not totally work from home, a few days in office and some flexible days from work from home.
Okay.
So some companies follow, so there's a 5 working day in Oman, Sunday to Thursday. Some companies follow Wednesday and Thursdays work from home, rest in office.
Okay. So any more questions by any of our participants, please use the Q&A box. I think we've started getting a few more questions now. We've got one question which says that if one needs to visit for networking or alliances, which cities have more opportunities?
I'll take up this one. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, Abhishek, go ahead.
All right. So, see, the 3 major cities in Oman as of now, you can say is Muscat, Salalah, and Sohar. But all the, like, if you talk about networking, like even for the Oman chapter, as Jay has rightly said that, if you want to initiate the discussion, I see Oman chapter is always there to support. So we are based in Muscat region, and most of the companies, most of the audit practices, or even the big 4 have got their main office in Muscat itself. So you can start networking from Muscat. This could be the right point to start your networking and the alliances. And later you can expand into other major cities in Oman, like Sohar and Salalah.
Okay. The next question is again related to ICI Oman chapter. Does the chapter have a directory for audit and tax firms?
So the directory is available on FSA website, list of all the registered tax firms.
Okay. So I think all the questions have been answered, this really was an interesting discussion around investment opportunities, practice opportunities, job opportunities, and very well covered by all the panelists and all the speakers. So I would like to now invite CA Preeti Cherian, our committee convener, to propose a vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, Vivek. It has been an absolutely fascinating evening that we have spent. And, I took one point, Jay, when you said that learn Arabic. And also when Dr. Balushi spoke about the ties that both countries have. So I know, for example, that the word barkat, which is a word that many Indians understand, and also it's an Arabic word which talks about prosperity, success. So listening to all the speakers, I'm reminded of one one couplet, which an Indian poet, Mehtab Haidar Naqvi, has said, नए सफर की लज्जतों से जिस्म जान को सर करो, सफर में होगी बरकतें, सफर करो, which can be loosely translated as crown yourself with the delights and blessings that new ventures have to offer. Set sail and gather the blessings that come your way. I think this audience has understood one thing, that they need to take that effort that, that one step ahead to see the potential that Oman has to offer. Our esteemed panel, comprising of Ms. Juhaina Balushi, Dr. Balushi, CA Duseja, and CA Abhishek Vaishya, have shared with us invaluable insights on ways to embark on this wondrous journey, one which expands our professional reach and circle of influence. On behalf of the seminar membership and public relations committee of the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society and all those assembled here, I express my deep gratitude to our distinguished panel. Thank you for addressing our members in India on the topic Opportunities for Chartered Accountants in Oman. Your lucid presentations, guidance, and encouragement will go a long way in strengthening the understanding and resolve of the members of the Bombay Chartered Accountants Society who seek to conquer new horizons in their career. Thank you, everyone, for joining us, and a good evening to all. Over to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all our guests and all our panelists. With this, we will now come to an end of this session. And as I said, this is just an end of this session. We are going to be having many more deeper connections between the two countries because Oman and India are on the verge of signing a comprehensive economic partnership agreement. So we shall take it forward from here. And as we say in India, we never say goodbye. We say see you soon. So thank you very much, everybody.
Barakat to all, right? Both the nations. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you for the